Hi, this is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening or you just found us, hey, I'm happy you're here and I'm glad you found us. I hope this would be something you will come back to and listen to us again. If you are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I'm going to talk a little about digital security. Touch base on things that we already know but need to have refreshed in our minds. But we'll be right back after this message. Hi, this is Dave with The Last Podcast. Do you want to earn extra money from home? Or would you like to start your own home-based business helping people save money on services they're already using? Then hit me up at the last podcast 443@gmail.com, and I will share with you how so many people are starting to earn and generate an extra income from the comforts of their own home. This is Dave with The Last Podcast. We'll see you soon. All right, we're back, and like I said, I wanted to really get into just a couple of things about digital security, and it's things that we've already heard, but sometimes we go about our daily activities and we totally forget. We take a lot of things for granted, and we really kind of forget. So one of the first things I really want to talk about is several digital security issues, which are important in my opinion. I believe that all digital security is important. But the first one I'm going to touch base on is phishing. Be cautious of suspicious emails, texts, or calls requesting personal information or login credentials. Phishing attempts often mimic legitimate entities to deceive individuals into revealing sensitive data. Now, I'll give you a scenario how easy this can be done. Let's just say that you're on your banking website, or you're in your banking app, right? And all of a sudden you just close everything up, and wow, you realize you just got an email and it says, hey, look, this is out of the norm. All of a sudden you get this email asking you to verify, is this charge correct? Is this something that you initiated? If not, if it wasn't you, please click here to stop the transaction. Now, that number would probably be a ridiculous number just to get you to real quick tap on click here. And it's as quick as that. That's it. You're done. So they got your information, or they, as you click on, you're probably clicking on information that allows them to download something onto your cell phone or your computer, and they can grab a lot of personal information that way. So that's how quick it could be done. So in that scenario, you would definitely lose that fast. But simple things like changing passwords, using easily guessable passwords, common passwords, or anything like that. I remember my kids asking me, what's the password for this? And it was crazy. I would give them almost 15 characters. They were like, are you for real? And they would look at me like with this dumbfounded face, like, are you serious? Are you serious? And I gotta tell you, I wasn't always that way. I was a stickler for passwords, and I worked for a company where they made you change your password every 90 days, and we were in a habit of doing that. So that habit stayed with me. Unfortunately, there's still people that can get past that. But, if you are one of those people, make it a habit of changing your passwords in an alternative fashion, whether it be 3 months or every 30 days, which might be excessive, but or every 6 months. Just keep it fresh, and you definitely want to do that. And public Wi-Fi, a lot of people do so much on their phones right now, they don't realize how important it is to make sure your phones are secure. Wi-Fi risk, public Wi-Fi networks may lack proper security, especially if you are in some place like, let's say Starbucks, and you automatically hop on their network. I mean, all your information is up for grabs the moment you do that. In my personal opinion, making your data susceptible to interception. Avoid sensitive transactions or use any virtual private networking when connected to a public Wi-Fi. So that's a great way to mask what you are doing or keep your information safe. However, if you get on somebody else's network and you decide to let me check my banking app, you might as well just take the money out of your bank and give it away, because that's how easily your information can be stolen. Another thing, a lot of people don't even realize this. When you are on your computers, tablets, or even, let's say, laptops or anything like that, even your phone, outdated software. There are people out there who know how to take advantage of outdated software on any of your devices. So regularly, why don't you update your software and make sure you add and update your security patches and make sure none of that stuff is out of date, because it is vulnerable for attacks. So you definitely want to do that. Another one that I will like to touch base on is social engineering. Hackers may use social engineering techniques to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential information. Just be cautious, and or unsolicited requests for personal or financial information. And social engineering is, you'd be surprised at who might even be doing stuff like that. But it could be your own friends or someone you think is a friend. So definitely, or someone posing as your friend. So be vigilant, I would say, to somebody online or someone around you, because you never know who's watching you. So if you're entering passwords in the public, that's also not a good idea. So definitely try to be cognizant of your surroundings and who's near you, who's around you, and things of that nature. Identity theft is huge. It's always been a problem. So safeguard your personal information and be cautious about sharing details like your full name, address, birthday, or social security number online. Make sure if you're actually sharing that information, it's to a legitimate website or legitimate company. And the funny thing is actually, it's not funny, but the peculiar thing is that people are getting so crafty at what they do, they can mimic a website, let's say like a banking institution, and make it look real. So you still have to be careful. And they have that little lock on the top left hand corner in the address bar, so you can take a look at that. And sometimes when you receive emails, what's a good thing to take a look at? You know how it has your name where it's sent to, and just click on the little arrow underneath your name, your email address, and see exactly where it's coming from, because half the time it's not the actual company it's saying it's from. So that's another way that you can check and take a look at. Fraudulent websites, we touched base on that. Understanding these digital issues and taking appropriate precautions can definitely save you time and money. I was once, matter of fact, not once but twice, a victim of identity theft, and where I put it this way, I had this wallet, and I went to a shopping mall and then went to a supermarket. I believe it was in a supermarket that I had my information taken, and I think they were able to clone the card or what have you, because as soon as we left the store, I get this ring and notification saying, "Hey, look, somebody just bought tickets in Dubai," and I'm like, "Well, okay, I'm in Texas. I'm not in Dubai." So I hurried up and called the card, and the bad thing about it, the card that I originally had at that time, it took like 3 90 days before I got my money back. So I was still able to get my money back, but hey, you got to be careful. So always, they used to have these little wallets where you can actually put your cards, your Visa cards or MasterCards or credit cards, and nobody can actually scan them or anything like that unless they actually open it up and had access to it personally. So that's another thing you want to take a look at. So it is important to make sure that you are secure. I would definitely do that. There was another time where I had one of my credit cards, and somebody was able to, and this was online, they were able to basically make a purchase. And the minute they did, I had one of those notifications again, and I hurried up and told the bank that wasn't me, stop that transaction, and they were able to do that. So that's another thing. You want to make sure that on your credit cards or your bank cards, you have the notification set instantly. Even if there was $1 removed from your account, it will automatically and immediately give you the notification, hey, somebody did some activity on your account, this amount was taken out of your account. And if it wasn't you, it gives you an opportunity to say, you know what, let me call the bank right now. It wasn't me. Hey, look, take a look at this transaction. That is not me. And I know Chase is pretty good for making sure that you get your money back. I don't know about any other banks. I know there's a credit union that I used to use. They were also very good at getting your money back extremely fast. So, and they have safeguards in place just in case anything were to happen. So, the funny thing is, some cards would tell you we have to wait until that transaction clears. So you have to be careful of that. Sometimes there's probably nothing you can do. And if you don't have these notifications set up on your banking, your credit cards, you're asking for trouble. And that's definitely something you want to take a look at. I think that's pretty much it, but I really wanted to touch base on something else before we go. You have smartphones, tablets, and all these smart devices in your home. You want to make sure that they all are updated with the software to protect these devices, because devices can be hacked. Even your smart cameras, your TVs, all of this stuff is hackable. So just make sure all your software on these items are up to date, and that you are being very diligent about all your devices, because we live in a world where it's becoming easier and easier for somebody to take what you have worked so hard to achieve and accomplish. And the last thing I want for anybody is for what happened to me to happen to them. So that's it for today. It's all about the security, and it's all about stuff that we already know. But I just want you to make sure that you remember this and, use it and do what I'm asking you to do. Update your information, change your passwords, and so on and so forth. Well, my name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Until tomorrow, so long.